You are listening to The Manual with Mike Sheridan. The opinions expressed here are purely that of the individuals in question and can sometimes be of an adult nature.
Sheamus is just Snapchatting there.
I'm trying to do the Snapchat thing. I'm trying to get used to it. I've done the Instagram thing, the Twitter thing, the Facebook thing. There's just too many things coming up. I'm just tired of all these new things. I'll stick with the things I know.
I'm the editor of a website and I'm not on Snapchat. I still don't really know what it is. I feel like I'm too old for it. You're different. You're a WWE superstar. That's grand. Just a 34-year-old man. It just feels a bit.
You're still younger than me, fella. I'm 38, so I'm trying to get. It's just another thing to, eat up all your spare time.
Yeah.
Run around pictures and stuff. Some people get really carried away in the Snapchat. Actually, like there's some people have these stories and they're like one after the other, after the other, after the other, and you're just like. It's a bit much, but I don't know. I'll give it a go for a while. Some people love it, but
you might be the most followed Irishman on Twitter. I'm pretty sure you are.
No,
right?
Rory's. Niall Horan is number one, and then Rory McIlroy, and then there's somebody else, a comedian. I can't even think of his name because I'm blank and I haven't slept in about 2 days.
So you basically you've come.
I'm about fourth Irish, but I'm moving up there now.
That's like 2.5 million Twitter followers or something like
2.3 right now. 2.3.
Getting up to 2.5 million.
7,700,000 on Facebook, and then like almost 1 million on Instagram.
So that's funny. Whenever
who's bragging?
But that must be a little nuts, though. I mean, to say whatever in 140 characters or whatever it is with a picture, and to see something like that, then I say to anybody with that kind of following, that it's whatever you say is going to reverberate around the world. It's that difficult to wrap your head around that first when you first start getting that following.
Well, the first time I used it, I was just trying my best not to say anything stupid. I something that would get a lot of controversy. Not that I would, but just you have to be careful. Like it was just, it's a situation where you get something and you're like, you got to think about it. Will I send this out? This seems funny now. I've only had like 6 points of Guinness, but it's funny. And I'm just joking. Nobody messes. But no, you have to think about what you're sending out.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly.
So you've come in from Chicago, you were saying. So you came in at like 4 o'clock this morning.
Going in about 5, yeah, a little bit after 5.
So you're running on caffeine at the moment, are you?
I actually only had a bit of a coffee. I'm actually running. I don't know what I'm running on. I'm running on just the fact of being home. It's great. I did a couple of shows, 3 wrestling shows. Last week I had all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff in New York. That was mad. That was just mad day. The junkets and stuff were crazy. It was like 5 minutes, interviews, boom, 5 minutes. Like, it's literally non-stop. It's like, it's non-stop. But no, it's just, it's been great. I've really enjoyed, trying to promote the movie and not trying, but being involved in promoting the movie. I had so much fun doing it. And I can't believe I'm home, like here in Dublin, promoting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where I've been very lucky to play one of the main actors, Rocksteady.
You're doing
the main characters.
You're doing the premiere as well.
Yeah, doing the premiere
tomorrow. That's a little nuts to go to the Savoy, because we were saying you're around the same age as me.
Yeah.
So to go and be front and center at a premiere in the Savoy must just be the dream.
Listen, mate, it's mental. It hasn't really kicked in. I remember being in Savoy when Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman, came out for the first time. I remember queuing. You have to go. There's no booking tickets in advance and all that rubbish. You'd have to go outside of Savoy and you'd have to stand there before the first movie starts. That movie ends, and then you're waiting to get into the second movie. You'd sometimes have to stand through 2 movies depending on how big it was.
There was no multiplexes
Batman.
back then.
I stood outside Batman. I think I went in. I stood through the whole first movie to get into the second one. That's mad.
You wait for like 2 hours back in the day. That's how old we are.
It's crazy, right?
But we're talking about the 80s, and like I said, we are around the same age. And the Turtles was, for me, that song, "The Heroes in a Half Shell," is just in my head. Like,
you remember the arcade game as well, then at Quirky's?
Yeah.
It was not Quirky's. What was the other one? There was one off Marlborough Street there. I can't remember what, Barney's or something.
Barney's, yeah.
I used to go into Barney's.
Just off Talbot Street.
That's right, go into Barney's. There'd be queues around a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade game, and people just literally like kids just throwing their money, me included, the 20 pence pieces. The old horse went to go
looking for change off the man and dad until you could keep playing. Like,
that's how big Turtles was. I remember too, before I went to school every day, School Cuivy in Closterware, before I went to school every day, that cartoon would be on. And to me, the greatest thing about the cartoon was, and the comic, was the Rocksteady and Bebop, because they're just the comedic element, the comic relief. Like, the great Turtles, the kids love the Turtles obviously, but like, you couldn't help not love Bebop and Rocksteady. They're so bleeding. They're just so much fun, so much chaos, just tripping over their own feet, like 2 overgrown kids, you know what I mean? Just messing around with all these powers, just getting into all sorts of trouble, and giving Shredder a headache, And I love that part of it. And I think the great thing about the new movie now is the fact that, like, you have all the characters from the original that were never there. You know, the first, I remember, again, the Savoy, I went to see the original Turtles in Savoy. And then, you know, the fact that Bebop and Rocksteady weren't in that, or Krang, you know, you kind of let it go because it was the first time you see them.
You're hoping to see them in the sequel. Yeah.
And then they had Toka, Razor or something, the two, and the Secret of You. So the great thing about the movie is bringing in all these new characters: Baxter, Krang, and then Bebop and Rocksteady, and Casey Jones with Steve Amell. So this is building for hopefully a whole ton of Turtles movies and a lot of fun to be had. But this movie is a great introduction for all those characters. It's a lot of fun. It's a great family movie. Have you any kids?
No kids. I have a dog though.
They can bring the dog. You can bring your dog to the movie. Bring your dog to the movie if you don't have any kids. And your dog, 'cause I'm sure your dog's a big fan of Turtles too.
Well, you get to have a bit of crack.
You can relive it through your dog. You know.
You get to have a bit of crack in it as well. And you get to keep the Cabra. You get to keep the Northside accent as well, which I like.
Everybody said that.
Keeping
to me.
It real.
I didn't even think about that. I was like, this is my best. This is my best New York accent ever. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's Dublin accent. But they didn't tell me to put on any accent. They just said, just go in there and just do it. And I had fun. That was the thing. Me and Gary had so much fun in that movie. Like, we did a lot of stuff where we were backstage and we were just on set, and they'd be like, there's the Lions lads. We're like, okay, now do what you want. And he's like a stand-up comedian. He's really funny, Gary. Like, he does Whose Line Is It Anyway? He does a thing called Black Improv. And we bounced off each other, you know.
That must have been good to bounce off, have somebody like that on set that's used to kind of that immediate response from an audience as well as you are from the wrestling.
He's great. I don't know what it was. Like me and Shredder too, like Brian T, and then Brittany Ishibashi, who played Cry. So all four of us were like stuck like glue. It was just, I don't know, it was just weird. Like for me, they said it was weird because I haven't had too much experience in the movie type of world. Obviously WWE, yeah, but like, it's just amazing because like we just stuck to glue. We went to baseball games together. I saw the longest baseball game in my life. I think it went like 3 days. I needed some food and water. We hung out. We went to the bars. You know, we hung out at the bars together. We did it all together, and we just meshed really well. And like even when like we weren't on set, we're all sitting beside each other and we're all bonding. And then like Gary just has this thing like where he's just a very friendly guy. Like, but if he sees someone and they're like, why isn't that person? How come that person introduce himself to me? I need to go talk to them and find out who they are, what they're about, and I need to make friends. He wanted to make friends with everybody, you know. It was great. It was just a great experience, and I don't know. The last year's been mad.
I know, but the WWE they've been very, very supportive of the wrestlers going and the athletes going and doing movies.
Yeah,
and that very much seemed to be the case with you here as well. How supportive were they, and what was the conversation like when you were like, "Look, I'm up for this role. I'm gonna get to play, you know, this kind of iconic character from my childhood."
They're great. They're unbelievable. Like I was still on the road. Like the people, like someone I was asked this morning, they're like, "Oh, it must have been great going to the movie set for a couple of months." I mean, like, you know, settling in on the movie set. I was like, that didn't happen. I was literally going wrestling. I was doing shows Friday. Someone at the door. Answer the door. Time to go away.
We should get Sheamus to answer the door.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Raw on Monday. I was doing 3 non-televised shows, a live show, Raw, getting on a plane, flying to New York, depending where we were, landing in New York, and then I'd be like, get in about 4 o'clock in the morning. That was on set at 7. But it was so much fun that like it didn't matter, you know what I mean? But like I didn't have any luxury. I was doing a full schedule. So if I can balance, going forward, I'd love to do more of this. So, but I want to do more of this. So if I can balance both them together, then happy bleeding days, you know what I mean?
I've had the chance to talk to Dwayne Johnson a couple of times, and he's an absolute gent.
Nice guy.
But talking about, with the first time I talked to him, he was still kind of, I know he still is in and out of the WWE now at the moment, but maybe more so then.
Did he say it was great, did he?
Yeah, he loves his fans, does Dwayne.
Did he say I was great?
He did say you were great as well, yeah.
Yeah, you're lying.
Off camera though, Seamus, off camera. But one of the things he was saying was, you kind of live the life of a rock star, because you're going from town to town to town to town. And I've seen the documentary made with Angela Scanlon as well, which was great. And it was it's a little insight into, you're not really a rock star because you have to maintain a certain shape. You're an athlete.
Yeah, we're not rock stars. I understand what he's saying. The schedule of a rock star is going town to town, but we're not rock stars. Like, let me put it in perspective this way. You have to maintain a shape. You can't do that by going out all the time, and you have to watch what you eat too. I like at this stage of my career too, like it's all about maintaining and if I do a show, like for example, I'll tell you, so I flew out, I did all the media stuff, got back Wednesday, had a load of stuff to do because I'm over here now, right? So I was gone for 2 weeks. So basically I went out on the road, flew to St. Louis first thing in the morning, Friday morning. Drove 2 hours to the first town, Rockford, did a show there. Then we drove to the next town, 3 hours away, did a show there. 3 hours away to the next show, boom, did that. Then went to drove to Chicago and then flew here. So what will happen is when you do that schedule, you don't have time to go out. I mean, if you're serious about what you do, you got to make a decision. And the way the athletes are now, you have to be committed to your lifestyle. And your lifestyle is being able to work out in the morning, being able to eating right, and then make sure that when you're wearing a pair of spandex, you don't look like bleeding Larry the Hippo when you go out there.
That has to be the motivation, does it? You're going to be in spandex in front of 20,000 people. I have to stay in shape.
That's definitely the motivation, yeah.
But the gym stuff are you just in the mindset now, like even to find a gym in a town somewhere in Middle America, it has to be
Yelp, right away. Yelp, boom, Yelp, that's it. And before you'd be Googling stuff, but the internet's the greatest thing. But like you Google the gyms. I always Google the gyms before I leave the house. So you're always preparing. We drive ourselves. We get our own rental cars. We get our own hotels. WB fly us to the first town and they fly us back from that town. But like I'm preparing all the time. Okay, what's the town? What's the best restaurant? What's the best hotel? What's the best gym I can go to? Okay, I'll call them. What's the deal here? Just make sure it's a good gym. And you just prepare every week. And then after a while, then it's a situation where you go to town. You'd be like, oh, Madison, Wisconsin, for example. I know a good gym in Madison, Wisconsin. So that's the case. But it was hard with the movie too because you're bouncing back and forth. You don't get. I don't know. Like it's actually hard for the actors too. If there are people who do the schedule. I talked to Steve Amell about his Arrow when he does Arrow, and he's like, he's on set like 12, 14 hours a day, and he's really into being in shape, and he's really into looking after himself. He does a lot of his own stunts and stuff, but he's like, I don't have time to train. Like I can't leave set, and that's I think they built a gym by the set this time. But he's like.
That's when the show becomes popular enough they can actually go and build him a gym.
Build him a gym, yeah. But like, on his lunch break, he'll go work out. But it's like, I don't even know how. He's like, I can't even work out, you know. And he wants to. It's so time consuming.
But I mean, that's you guys are on the road and you're doing that all the time. And I mean, I got up this morning and I train a little bit. And I got up this morning, I was sore. Like I'm hitting mid-30s now. I'm starting to get a little bit sore when I train. Yeah. You have mornings like that, and you still have to go out, not just train, but you have to go out and do.
Every morning's like that.
Yeah. So you're feeling it at this stage now. Like it's like still a young man, obviously, Sheamus, but you're in phenomenal shape. You know, the muscles must get a little bit achy from time to time.
It does take its toll. Like my back is the biggest thing. Lower back I get from all the bumping in the ring and all that stuff. But and you know what the biggest thing is that the car rides and the plane rides. I'm not trying to bore everyone watching this, but you know you're in car rides for such a long time and you're squashed on planes sometimes. That takes its toll more, I think, than the working out and the
diet and everything else.
And everything else, yeah.
But I think people would be looking at, and I think people would look at guys like you and anybody, all these other superstars in WWE, and even actors like Stephen Amell, and go, how can I get into that kind of shape? Yeah. And they might work 9 to 5 and think it's difficult. Where you're like, we get flown to the town, we have to find a gym on Yelp, we have to find whatever to, because the motivation is there for you because you have to perform in front of so many people and on live TV as well.
It's all in the motivation. It's all how much you're motivated to get yourself in shape. And to be honest with you, diet's the biggest thing. I don't forget. So diet for me is everything. I use this company called Nutrition Solutions now. I have all these meals, and now I have no excuses. I take the meals on the road with me, and I try and
makes it a bit easier.
It makes it easier, and it keeps me helps keep me in shape and get good food, and as opposed to crappy fast food. But no, all that sort of stuff comes into play, and it's all about your discipline, you know. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'm not disciplined, and sometimes you break from that norm. That's okay too. But the whole lifestyle is just. It's mad. Like people tell me when they see my lifestyle, they're like, or my schedule, they're like, "You're mad." Yeah, I'm mad. And maybe I am a little bit mad. Maybe I am a little bit like, just a bit out there. But I do love what I do. And when you get, no matter all the travel, no matter the early mornings, late nights of travel, whatever, or just the work, when you get that chance to get in that ring and you get wrestling in front of all those people, and millions of people around the world, you get to be in a crowd of over 100,000 people at WrestleMania. You know, you hit loud with a bro kick and you get a win there in the middle of the ring, and then you got Stone Cold, you know, and all the lads coming out. It's just an unbelievable experience every week. That's the thing too about acting too. When people ask me about the Turtles thing, it's like I've done promos on Raw. Like I've been in the ring with a microphone on Raw, and it's live. Like it's live. Like that's it. Like red lights on. It's being beamed right away all over the globe. It's not a situation where you're like, oh, let's do that take again. I'm not like, going to say something. Hang on a second.
Cut.
I didn't mean any of that stuff. Let's just go back here. And it's live. Oh. So it's like a situation where you're in a life, and it's just both environments complement each other. But The Rock, Batista have done fantastic jobs.
And was it the last time when you played the Tree Arena here in Dublin, you went heel by telling everybody to pay their war charges?
Yeah.
Which I thought was genius.
I did that, yeah.
Because everybody's obviously going nuts for you when you first come out, and then you're like, everybody pay your water charges. Where did that come from?
I did it last time too. I think I talked about something different again. I talked about how everyone was complaining how they voted back in the same. Everyone was giving out about like Enda Kenny and Fianna Fáil and Fianna Gael, and then there's what happens. They went and they just voted them back in again. So I was kind of like slagging people off, like how stupid are people. But really, that's all just done for the character. Like it's a Sheamus character. Like right now, I'm a villain, I'm a heel, and even if I can come to Dublin, and I can turn the crowd against me in Dublin, then I know I'm pretty good at my job. Like it'd be easier for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm home, but that's not my job. My job is not to do that. My job is basically to go out there and get people to hate me. And whether it just takes a little bit of magic on the microphone or a couple of comments that just go a little bit under the skin and get people or strike a nerve, then that's what I got to do. It's like anything else. As I said, it's easy just to go with the flow and be, like, oh, I'm at home, so it's okay. I'm a good, But it was a bit of a challenge for me, and I always love a challenge, So it was good crack. They hate me. I think everyone hates me in Ireland now. I don't know.
I don't know about that, but it was what Triple H used to say. He was like, it doesn't matter if they cheer you, it doesn't matter if they boo you. It's the fact that you're getting a response from, the mass thousands of people that are there to see you in that venue, and that's
Triple H stole
is.
that from me. He stole that.
He stole that from you. Did he? Steal your quotes?
It's very true. It is, but at the same time, if you can go in and turn the crowd out cheering you to booing you, and because the guy you're in against is, the hero, then that's a cool thing to do. You can embrace it all you want, but to turn people like who want to cheer you, it's great.
What about is it more satisfaction when you land a move, when you land something perfectly, something comes off perfectly and the crowd react, or when you're on the mic and something comes off? What's more? What do you enjoy more now at this point in your career?
I enjoy the microphone a lot more now.
Because that's huge in the W. You have to be. The mic that's really where the superstars come from. Whatever, they're all athletes, but the mic is obviously huge.
Well, I just used to be worried so much about every single word or a thing I'd have to say or point, and it just could get me wound up. And I just, now I just don't care. I care putting the point across, but I'm not so worried about the actual words. Because words don't mean anything if there's no emphasis behind them or you don't believe in what you're saying. You can go out to say little words, go, yeah, hey you, Apollo Crews, I really don't like you. You think you're a new era, but I have been here longer. Like, or you can go, you know what I mean? It's just like Apollo Crews, you know what I mean? I think respect, I can say whatever I want. I'd be like, I respect you, fella. You got a lot of skill, you got a lot of talent, but guess what? I've been here a long time, and you got to earn your stripes. You got to earn respect, and trust me, you'll earn respect when I get in the ring with you. I mean, it's just like,
so it needs to be as natural as possible.
As natural as possible, because people see through all that, and that's what I learned to be, just more natural, and just, I'm very much more, I just say whatever I feel. And that's the most. There's a time actually when I was WWE World Heavyweight Champion in December. I was on a roll. I was getting it. I was doing these promos every week, and it was great. I was really getting into it. And then, I lost the title. It just got switched real quick. But I always felt like I was really onto something. But that's what happens. It's just whatever way the business is going, whatever is best for the business, and you got to switch up and move around and just keep yourself as fresh as possible. And that's why I like the hair, the mohawk and all that sort of stuff. People were just like open arms, and I came back with the mohawk and the beads. But you gotta do that. It's like if you do the same thing all the time, it's just people get bored.
You need to mix it up. You need to reinvent yourself.
You need to be fresh. You need to do something different, something shock-worthy, and I did that. It was really shock-worthy. People hated that stuff. I got a "You Look Stupid" chant for like 12 months.
How competitive is it behind the scenes with all the guys? Because obviously, there's going to be a lot of personalities, a lot of like finely tuned athletes. How competitive is it with the guys? Are you friendly with a lot of the guys?
Yeah, a lot more. I mean, I'll be honest. In the beginning, it was just such a eye opener for me, like going into that environment and just being like, you're in there, but you want to stay there. You're worried about making mistakes because you don't want to lose your ground. You know what I mean? You want to make a big impact. So you're just kind of worried and focused about, maybe a little bit paranoid I was in the beginning, but just so driven and so motivated to do well and be a huge success, which I have been. Now I'm just a little bit more like, I enjoy my wrestling.
You're established now, yeah.
I'll go in there and my job now is to help a lot. The way I see it right now, like I've got feud with Apollo Crews, help him, help a lot of new talent, which I can. I can bring a lot of good. Any opponent I've ever faced, I've brought out some great. I'm very physical. I bring out a lot of emotion out of these guys, whether they don't want to see that emotion or not. I bring a lot of rage and I bring a lot of anger out of these guys, out of my opponents. But that's what I want to do, and that people can feel that. They can feel the emotion in the crowd. They can feel if you're going through it like, oh, flippy dippy, and it's you know, they know, they can tell. When I get a guy over the top rope and I start smashing his chest in, or I hit him with a forearm, or I hit him with an uppercut, and there's noise and you can feel the impact and the sweat's going everywhere. People see that and they forget for a second it's entertainment, and they get really involved in what's going on. And that's the thing to me. That's the beauty for it. Like, I want them to know when Sheamus comes out, oh, the other match, you know what I mean, that they were really, you know, they're standing off each other. I don't know what it is, but when Sheamus comes out there, a fight's gonna happen.
And what's it like backstage after? Is it like, because you see, you know, behind the scenes sometimes you're like, God, he looked like he got seriously cracked there. Even if you catch somebody, is everybody always sound with each other? Is everybody like, look, that's part and parcel?
Well, I give and I take as much. I'll take whatever. I'll expect to take what I give. Like, as I mean, physicality wise, and people come back. A lot of my opponents, like whoever I faced, like Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, Apollo, actually a couple of live events, Roman Reigns, anybody, they love it. They love that physical style, and it's because they can feel it, and when they can feel it, and the crowd can feel it, and the crowd are so into it, that's all that really matters. And you know, I never hurt anybody. You never hurt anybody. It's just meat on meat. You know what I mean? It's like bicep on chest, or, you know, it's not you're breaking a nose, you know what I mean, or breaking or injuring, like tearing a knee or tearing a shoulder. So, but it's for me, that's really where I'm at now. I'm enjoying my WWE. I'm enjoying the movie. I'd love to do a lot more because it was a great experience. It was a lot of fun, and I hope I can balance both because I'm in a great place right now.
And it's good to come home as well, like you're saying.
It's amazing to come home. And tomorrow night we've got the premiere. When is this airing, by the way?
This should be going to probably today, I'd say. It'll be later on today. So
tomorrow we got the Irish premiere, 6 o'clock on the red carpet at the Savoy, which, you know, it's very special for us. I'm encouraging all the fans to come out here. I'll sign autographs, I'll shake hands. I'm excited to meet everybody. I'm home for 2 days. I love being home. There's no matter how long I stay away from Dublin and Ireland, it's so special for me to get back. When I heard I was coming back, I didn't care if it was for 2 days or for 1 day. The fact to get at home, hang out with my Irish brethren, I'm just excited about it. So I'm hoping to meet a lot tomorrow at this green carpet event. I said red carpet earlier. This green carpet event is Savoy tomorrow at 6. Are you going? You coming?
I'll stick my head along. Yeah.
Deadly.
Bit of crack. Well,
crack. It's all about, right? It's all about
all
the
about
crack.
a bit of crack.
It's all about having a bit of crack, working hard, and at the end of the day, having a bit of crack and enjoying everything you do, because, you know, how long, you know, I never know how long it's going to last.
Well, it won't keep you much longer. No, you have to do the rounds. You have to keep doing the rounds today.
That's
as
okay.
well.
I plan on reading this whole little Oxford thesis here.
We've never used. Anybody who reads our website will know we've never actually used that. Well, I have to say it's amazing to see Irish men and Irish women do well abroad, but to do well to the level that you've done well, I think it's going to it has to be inspiring for young people and stuff coming up, be it wrestling, be it acting, be it whatever it is. So congratulations on all of your success. It's well deserved. I'm sure Cabra's very proud of you, as the rest of Ireland is.
Carnock Road. I'll tell you what though, I played for Aaron's for years, and like Cabra, Finglas, and hung around there a lot. Closterware was secondary school, but I'll tell you that, like, I don't really think of it that way. You know, I'm always working forward, so I never really even want to sit back and like, I really appreciate everything that's happened. But no, I've been inspired by a lot of Irish people. I think Irish inspire Irish, and I think that there's no reason why, like Finn Balor now and Becky Lynch is in the WWE.
It's amazing to see.
Yeah, and I think all the Irish actors are there. So I think that the talent pool over in this country is amazing. I think we don't give ourselves enough credit. We all inspire each other. So we can be anything we want to be. Irish rule the world, remember that, and we will continue to rule the world. So that's my message. Proud to be Irish, and I know everyone else is. But except for Ed Kenny doing the air guitar at Bruce Springsteen.
Mortal friend.
We just want to let that leave the country. We'll just keep that in the country.
That can't go viral. Perfect way to end the podcast, I think, Sheamus. Thanks so much for your time, man. You're a legend.
Thanks very much. You're a legend.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming in.
it.